I went to a party the other night. I wanted to stay in and watch ITV, but Dan made me come. But I complained. Tonight they are showing the network premiere of Rotted, a light-hearted family comedy about Gary Oldman up a ladder. He shrugged this off and said it would be good for me to get out the house. But I don't live in the house, I noted. You make me stay in the garden, but by that point we had got to the party. It was held in a house owned by a local priest, but his extreme zoophobia meant he never left his room, so we had run of the house. We had entered the living room when a familiar voice leapt at us. Well, sheet on my chin, it's Stuart. It cried. It was my GP, who had taken a break from watching a spider climb up his balls to greet me. He told us how he had been, and that he had just got back from around the World Vision Quest, after which he was able to construct his first masturbation fantasy that did not include Ken Livingstone or the theme tune from MASH. I tried to tell him I had just got a job drowning horses when he interrupted and introduced us to a man named Wellhard Baudrillard, who had been part of the crowd observing the spider traverse the pillow pad knapsack. We were subsequently versed on how the first thing 90% children born in NHS hospitals see is Sir Robert Winston, and how he would like to meet the man, if only to call him a Bunbury pumpkin and slather him in wound goo. There is a band downstairs, Dan told us, so we left the others to their devices. On our way to the basement, we ran into a woman who told Dan that she had heard his solo album and thought it sounded like Martin Clunes and Roger Whittaker on either sides of a broken seesaw. He told them he had heard that her mother was back on solids and to go back to being an Iron Age slot. The basement door was covered with a poster stating that VCR to be and the Analogs to be tonight's first band. The basement was busy, and everyone looked expectant as the band kicked off a song called Vinegar Minge. "Isn't that Stelios?" asked Dan, pointing at the bottom man in an EasyJet t-shirt. It was. He looked at us, looking at him, looking at us, looking at him, looking at us, looking at the floor. When we looked up, he was standing in front of us and began to tell us about his next easy idea. "You rent out your body," he revealed. "Someone buys a timeshare on you, and you drug yourself unconscious for the entire duration. You wake up fresh and happy, not knowing what horrors your fragile flesh has been subjected to." I told him I liked the idea. He smiled and gave us each a drink. "How much does it pay?" we asked as we sipped out drinks. He smiled again and held up 100 fingers. "How do you volunteer?" we asked. He smiled and pointed at our drinks and said,
"You just did."